Oh my goodness, you guys. Today we're talking about the Willow 3.0. I know, I was so excited to try this. Somewhere along the way, I have become obsessed with wearable breast pumps, and I did it. I got the 3.0, and you guys, this pump is so cool. I'm so excited to tell you all about it. I have a ton of tips. I made a big note on my phone of like all the things I want to tell you about this pump. First, let's just start with assembly. I'm going to show you how to assemble with both the bags and the milk collectors. If you're using your bags, you're going to take your flex tube, push this all the way down, and then connect your flex tube up here. It just slides right in. And then open this by lifting up and out. Take your bag and then press this down right here into your flex tube. Fit your bag into your container. There's some like raised parts right here that you can kind of just tuck it under. And then connect it to your hub. There you go. If something's wrong on the app, it will let you know. Now for the milk containers, which is how I usually pump, make sure it's open right here, so unlocked. Take your flange, press it all the way through. You're gonna line it up at the top. Now lock it. Make sure this piece is on, so take this right here. Put it up, close it. Make sure this up here is set to 1 because you need it open so that it'll have proper suction. And then you take your hub and you are ready to pump. When you're done pumping, make sure you lean forward when you take it off and kind of roll it off. There's probably still gonna be some milk in the center here and in the flex tube. If you're using the containers, before you flip to finish, make sure you switch this to 2, so have the 2 facing out. This will close up the top so that when you flip to finish, milk won't come out the top, which is so important. So what you do is you turn it so the top is facing you, turn it on, let it suck a few times so it's getting that milk out of the center, and then turn it like this so that it's upside down and gravity is helping it get the milk out of the flex tube. And then you can even turn it like this and turn it off, and all your milk should be collected in the bag or container. Don't forget to flip to finish, or milk may go kind of everywhere when you take it off and you may lose some milk, which is the worst. Let's talk about pumping. So it's really important to have your nipple completely in the middle, and of course to be using the right flange size. So I'll link something in the description box that is all about finding the right flange size. I have a 21 right here, it works great for me. And so you can kind of like sandwich your boob and then place it on, and then put your nursing bra up around it to make sure that your nipple is absolutely in the middle. With the containers, you can actually place the container so that you can see your nipple in the middle, and then put on the hub. The hub attaches magnetically, and that way you know your nipple's in the middle. Then to turn it on, you just press the power button. I like to hold mine in place for a solid like minute or 2 while it gets good suction. This pump is just so different from any of the other wearable pumps that I've tried. I like it, I think it's really cool, but there is this crazy learning curve. It needs to have a really nice suction to you to work correctly. And so once you have it on and you are sure that it is suctioning nicely, you can take it off and you have a lot of mobility. But just to make sure that it gets a good suction, I like to hold it in place for like a minute. Once it's on, it's going to start in stimulation mode. I totally recommend always having the app open and using the app when you're pumping just to see what's going on. Anyway, it'll start in stimulation mode and it automatically will kick to expression once it senses some milk flowing. So you can't manually switch it to expression, which was different for me. I was used to manually being able to do that whenever I wanted. You also can't switch back to stimulation once your milk is flowing and you're on expression, unless I guess you totally restart the pump. So that's just kind of a different thing about this pump. I like to adjust my levels just on the app, and in the app it will tell you how much milk that you have in each of the different pumps. In my experience, it's been pretty regular. This is from my last pump and it combines them, but when you are pumping, it'll tell you how much specifically you have in each pump, and it's been pretty close or right on for me. I've found this to be a very comfortable pump. I've had no pain at all. It does feel different than other pumps. It kind of sucks your nipple in and then, you know, keeps sucking milk out, versus traditional pumps that suction, let go, suction, let go, suction, let go. The settings I use, I do it to the maximum settings. I do level 3 on stimulation and then level 7 on expression. And even though I use it at full blast, I have had no real discomfort, and I have had perfectly fine output. I get totally normal output when I'm using my Willows, but I do have to tack on like 5 minutes. So with my wall pump, I usually only pump like 15 minutes. With my Willows, I do 20 or even 25 minutes, and then my output is the same. Let's talk tips and troubleshooting. I think it's important to have a really good nursing bra when you're using your Willows. So I like these kind of sports bra looking nursing bras that have some stretch, have adjustable straps. I usually have to loosen my straps when I have my pumps in, and then I just tighten them back up. What wouldn't work well would be a padded bra, an underwire bra. Really, you need like a stretchy nursing bra. You may get an error message when you're trying to start pumping on your app, and it's probably telling you that maybe a part is off or just something is wrong. And it is so annoying, I know, to get an error message, but I would rather get an error message and know something's wrong than like start pumping and it leak everywhere, or do a 20-minute pump and nothing come out because the parts weren't in right. And the app is good about showing you exactly what's wrong. It'll show you like a little picture about what you need to adjust. Something that maybe is more commonly an error message is like if this has like soap residue or milk in it or something. So if it's telling you that this has an error message, this piece, just take a Q-tip or a toothpick or something and get in there and like clean it really finely. Make sure to give this part a really good rinse. It'll tell you also like if you need to readjust the bag. If like the bag is sticking out, it might give you an error message. So just make sure to tuck the bag under these little raised parts. That can help. If you're having a lot of discomfort, it could be just a variety of things. One, if you are a brand new mama, you just had your first baby, just pumping in general and breastfeeding in general at first can cause some discomfort. So that's something to keep in mind, that maybe you're just a new mama and your boobs aren't really used to breastfeeding and pumping. But if you're having a lot of pain, definitely talk to a lactation consultant. A ton of pain is not normal. Now also make sure you're using the right phalange size. If you end up being smaller than what they carry, you can get some inserts and that can really help. You can also put a little coconut oil on your nipples. That can help with pumping discomfort. Then of course you may need to adjust your levels. If you need to use it at level 4 instead of full blast at level 7, do that. Having your pump so high that you're in pain will not help you get more milk. It'll make you tense up and get less milk. So turn it down if you need to. Let's talk pros and cons. I feel like the biggest pro is it gives you total mobility. This is the only wearable pump that I know of where you can be laying down, you can be bending over, you can be doing yoga, and you shouldn't be spilling any milk. So the Mom Cozies, the Amazons, the LV, you can't be bending over totally. You can't be laying down. You can't be doing that stuff because you'll spill milk. When you have the bags in your Willow, you can. So this is a game changer for some moms who have to pump while doing some of those things. So if you're in the medical field, or maybe a teacher, or just have another job where pump breaks just aren't a possibility. They should be because it's the law, but not reality for some mamas. Some mamas' jobs just don't allow that to happen, and so they have to pump on the go, and they have to have total mobility. They have to be able to bend over and do a lot of stuff. Or some stay-at-home moms even who have toddlers running around and have to be able to bend over and have just total mobility. The Willow with the bags are what you need. Now with the containers, you have a lot of mobility still, but you can't totally bend over because you will spill milk out of the top hole. That being said, I still love using the containers when I know I don't have to be like totally bending over or something, because I like using my own bottles and skinny bags that freeze flat like bricks. But if I am on the go or I know I need to be doing something that's very mobile, the bags are so nice to just be able to snap off and have like no mess, easy cleanup, and I don't have to worry about spilling any milk when I'm bending over. It is also very discreet. I'm gonna show you what they look like on. Okay, here they are on. The shirt I'm wearing is like a little oversized, and so yeah, I mean, they're a little noticeable. Your boobs look huge, but you could get away with it if you're trying to be discreet. Also, if you need to just tell people you're pumping under your shirt, they should not care. They should be mature about it. We are mammals. We are just trying to feed our babies. People should just get over that. The sound is noticeable in a quiet room, but in a busy room, it wouldn't be super noticeable. I'm gonna insert a quick clip of when I was pumping with the Willow so you can hear the sound while it was pumping. I think the biggest con is there is a definite learning curve when it comes to this pump. For me specifically, I had used a lot of other pumps, and this is just totally unlike any other pump. And so it just took a little bit to get used to it. But once I was used to it, I got, into kind of a rhythm with it. A con for me is I wish there was a way to manually switch to expression or back to stimulation. There's no manual way to do that. So if I feel my own letdown or I just feel like milk is flowing, it'd be nice to be able to manually switch to expression. A quick tip, if it's been like 5 minutes and your pump hasn't manually switched to expression, you may need to take it off, readjust, hold your pump on there to make sure it has a good suction, because something's probably a little off if it hasn't manually switched to expression and it's been like 5 minutes. A con could be that it's not great for massive oversuppliers. So you really can only get around 4 or 5 ounces before you have to stop and either empty or switch bags or something. And nobody wants to do that when they're pumping. So for me, what I do is my first pump of the day is normally, like everyone, my oversupply pump. So I just don't use my Willows for that pump because I know that I would have to stop and empty, and I don't want to have to do that. But I'll use my Willows for other pumps throughout the day, because besides my first pump of the day, I'm not going to get more than 5 ounces, in one breast usually. And then my last con is, of course, the cost. This definitely is an investment. It's a luxury. It's $500. You can use your HSA or your FSA to cover it. You can also sometimes get your insurance benefit to cover part of the cost of the Willow. I just would be careful and not have your only pump be a wearable pump. I would also have a traditional plug-in pump, just because for some women, they aren't able to be completely emptied by wearable pumps. I would just recommend you have both. One traditional pump may be covered by your insurance, and then your wearable pump that you can use for mobility, hands-free, that kind of thing. If this pump is just not in your family's budget, you can totally have a wonderful breastfeeding and pumping journey without it. But it is a really nice luxury if you have that savings in your HSA or FSA or your bank accounts, and you just want that luxury of being able to have that crazy mobility, be able to use the app, and just have this really cool pump. Okay, that will be it for my video. I hope this was helpful to you. If you have the Willow 3.0, if you're thinking about getting it, if you have any questions, be sure to leave them in my comment section. I love to answer people's questions in the comment section. This video was not sponsored by Willow, but I did reach out to them and they gave me a coupon code. So be sure to check out my coupon code in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please give this video a thumbs up if you found it to be helpful. Maybe leave me a comment, and I will see you in my next one.